Y'all, they're promising to do it again. They are actively threatening the American population, and sitting senators are not only saying that we're going to shut down the government again, they're saying that we have to inflict pain in order to save democracy. Y'all, this is getting into a sociopathic level that's real concerning. And we're going to talk about the entire thing right now. Of course, everything will be linked in the description box below. I always bring the receipts, and please follow me on X at Braden LOA. We are on the cusp of something that we need to be all together on, and I can't wait to see you over here. All right, people, listen. You get that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Let me get right into this. It's Sunday. I haven't seen anybody talking about this, but I want to show you a few clips that are tying together where we are going in the next several weeks, okay? Right now, I've got Chris Murphy right here. You guys know I'm not a fan of Chris Murphy. If you are some of my 2A contingent, my 2A supporters, my 2A patriots, I guess is the best way I could describe it. We've been together for years. And the new group, the newbies, this is a villain. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is an absolute villain. And what he just said on the talk show circuits this morning was literally a threat to the entire American population because they've got to burn the whole thing down to save the country. It's effectively what he just said. Now, I'm going to walk through this. This has all the hallmarks. He invokes the civil rights movement. He invokes the saving of democracy. The TDS that's about to be displayed is top tier TDS. And don't worry, it's all to save the country. Yeah, watch this.
Well, Democrats didn't want this shutdown, but we have values. And so if you want Democratic votes for a budget, it has to be a moral budget that doesn't destroy our democracy. The fact of the matter is, if you don't put constraints on Donald Trump's illegality, this democracy isn't going to be here next November. It isn't going to be here in 2028. So Democrats, yes, have to draw firm moral lines in the sand right now. We would be suckers if we were to sign on to a long-term budget that, for instance,
Okay, so it's got all the hallmarks of everything that no one likes about the left. Honest to God, it's got elitism, it's got moral superiority, it's got I'm going to burn the whole thing down, it's got politics over people, it's got all the great parts of what everyone hates and despises about the left. So apparently, we're not going to have a democracy, even though we're a constitutional republic, anymore in the midterms. So 11 months from now, we're not going to have one. Yep. And in 2028, we're not going to have our country anymore. So to take the moral high ground, we have to shut the government down again in January. Don't worry, it's coming. And then we're just going to make the entire country suffer because someone's got to feel some pain to save democracy. Y'all, we are getting into a level of psychopathy, which is really concerning. Let's keep on going. I got clips on clips on clips.
Funds the Department of Justice to engage in a witch hunt operation against Democratic senators. So we don't want a shutdown, but the situation is unique. Donald Trump is trying to weaponize our compassion against us. This is how we lose democracies all over the world. When despots or would-be despots say, I'm going to hurt the people, use their pain as extortion to try to get you to give me more power to corrupt the nation. So
Okay, I'm going to pause it really quickly. And y'all, let me hear you in the comments on this one because I'm getting to the point now where the gaslighting and the propaganda, if I don't say something about it, I will be complicit, honest to God. Because if you'll recall, the Democrats are the ones that shut the government down. The Democrats were the ones in trouble with their far left progressive base because they caved and opened the government. How could it have been a Donald Trump Republican shutting down of the government to inflict pain on people for their own power if it was the Democrats who literally caved to open it back up? It doesn't make sense on any level. This man is a known propagandist and a liar, and I have no problem saying that because it's quite evident just by this statement alone. The Democrats shut down the government and they inflicted infinite amounts of pain on the GDP, the gross domestic product, the national, basically, good Lord, payrolls of multiple people, the military, for their own power. Exactly what he's saying Donald Trump and the Republicans did, they did. And they're promising to do it again. There's got to be a little bit of pain. Watch. This is wild.
There is not an easy path to saving the democracy. There is not a path that doesn't involve some pain. We will have to find unique ways, as the civil rights movement did, to mitigate the pain for people. But there's no simple, pain-free path to saving our democracy. And I hope that my colleagues, who I respect greatly, realize that.
There's no pain-free path to saving democracy. That is a sitting United States senator. He just threatened that they're going to shut down the government again and again and again. And they're going to be an obstructionist and they're going to cause pain again and again and again because it requires it to save democracy. If you guys are students of history and you've never heard this, that is an absolute phrase and position of autocratic despots. Yeah, I killed all my political opposition because I love the country so much. It's called the Night of the Long Knives. You can look it up. But the Night of the Long Knives wasn't perpetrated by Donald J. Trump. It was perpetrated by Little Mustache Man. Because he killed all his political opponents. Because some pain had to be felt to save the country. Y'all, the projection from this man is wild. And we're just getting started. And it's not just him, by the way. They're basically promising that they're going to have shutdown and shutdown and shutdown. Listen to, actually, you know what? Let's go a little bit out of order. Listen to what this Democrat said from the House. Same thing. Guys, I'm building a pattern here. Watch.
So no, I'm furious with the senators who decided to bail on us. There may be another opportunity in January when this CR expires, but I'm not sure this experience has stiffened their spine.
There may be another opportunity to do this again in January when this CR expires. They're already planning on doing it again. They're going to do it in a midterm year. They're going to continue to be obstructionists to cause pain on the American people because a little pain is necessary to save the democracy. Y'all, this is not a one-off thing. This is absolutely a part and parcel strategy that they are doing. They're openly telling you they're going to hurt you. Listen, J.D. Vance said it pretty well. Listen to this.
Paid. They don't care if you cause billions of dollars of lost productivity. They don't care if you shut down the airline industry, which they were very close to doing. They just want to get Trump. And they don't care if they have to burn the entire country down in order to get Trump. That's what they want to do. And I think that it shows how stupid that approach is politically, because normally you would expect the President of the United States to get blamed for a shutdown. The American people were smart enough to recognize that the Democrats were the ones who were sort of holding this hostage. They were saying that unless you give us everything that we want, unless you give us $1.5 trillion of benefits, health care for illegal aliens, we're going to destroy the country. We're going to keep the government shut down indefinitely. I think the president recognized eventually the American people are going to recognize this is the Democrats doing this. The Democrats, I think, made a huge political mistake by continuing to push for all of these crazy things. And they said, if you don't give all these crazy things, we're going to keep the government shut down. It was politically stupid, but you're right. I don't understand the psychology of a Democrat who says, we'd like to burn the country down in order to get Donald Trump. But unfortunately, it just drives home. That's what their party is about.
That's the entire point, and it's very well said. And here's what I'm going to tell you guys. They're not going to stop, and they're not going to change. They're going to do this because the far left base of their party demands anything and everything opposition to Trump. Orange man, bad. If Trump says that we're going to the moon, that's bad. If Trump says we just discovered untapped amounts of oil, that's bad. If Trump says we figured out a way to make the cost of living go down for everybody, that's bad because it's inequity. Literally, it doesn't matter what happens. They're going to be obstructionists because they're trying to win the far left base to be a fighter. They think that that's what it means. We are entering a 12-month period that is going to be fraught with a whole lot of wow. And I'm going to be here with you guys the entire time. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. Later.